Hello there, you guys. Welcome to another one of my live videos, and today updating you on some more current latest news. So if you do consider dropping likes, and if you do consider subscribe as always to the channel. So there's lots to discuss about on this current video today. But obviously the main part of this headline, as you can currently see, is in relation to Ashley Young. So reports, as I did say at the end of my last video, reports have been coming out of the press now. It has been officially confirmed Ashley Young, Manchester United have been in negotiations with Ashley Young, and it has confirmed that Ashley Young has signed a new one-year extension on his current deal. So this does potentially, take him under contract with Manchester United until 2020, as we all currently know. But it has been agreed, as I currently said. But as I did say, obviously a lot of people, will be disappointed about this. I think he's the sixth player, this season now, to commit to a new deal. We've seen McTominay this season, sign a new deal. We've seen recently Phil Jones, sign a 4.5 year, with an option of a third year as well. We saw this season Chris Smalling, signing a new contract. We saw Luke Shaw earlier on in the season, signing a new 5 year deal with Manchester United as well. We also saw, Martial signing a new 5 year deal, with an option of a third year as well. But there's still, you're still other, players, we do need to get contracts. As I currently said, there's still Herrera and Mata and De Gea and all that that we do need to get contracts for. And Marcus Rashford as well, because we do want to get him a new long-term deal at the club. The reports have confirmed that Manchester United have agreed a new one-year extension for Ashley Young, because as I did say, he has been one of the longest-serving players at Manchester United as Ashley Young. I think he's made about 227 appearances, since he's been at United. He's obviously well Premier League. He's an experienced, right back as Ashley Young. Obviously, when he was younger, he was mainly a right winger as Ashley Young. But obviously, most recent, Manchester United, obviously, operate him as a right back, and he can still perform very, very well. But as I did say, I think he's past it now, Ashley Young, to be quite honest with you. And I actually do want him to leave Manchester United, and he has been a good servant over the years. He's played very, very well as Ashley Young. And obviously, we know that he's been first choice at that right back, ahead of Antonio Valencia, as I currently said. I think in relation, to Antonio Valencia, we do actually have an option to extend his contract by a further year, but I don't think this is going to happen, because I expect Valencia, to leave Manchester United in the summer. Obviously, he's just picked another injury up as well as Antonio Valencia. So I think he's out for a couple of weeks, and he's been one of the longest servants here as well. He has been here since 2009 as Antonio Valencia, as we all know. So he's been here 10 years. He's obviously won everything here in English football, just like Ashley Young has. He's won everything here in English football, and we did get him from Villa, for £17 million. As we openly know. But Valencia and Ashley Young, being two good servants here, over the years, they have grown and developed very, very well. But I both think they've passed it now. And obviously Valencia this season, can't even get in the team because he's hardly played in the Premier League, this season, Antonio Valencia. And he's, of course, he's made over 300 appearances, for Manchester United, as I currently said. But it has been officially confirmed that Manchester United have agreed a new one-year extension, for Ashley Young. So he signed a new one-year extension on his current deal. As I said, his current deal was set to come to a conclusion in the summer, but it has been officially confirmed. And the narrative came out about this the other day, that reportedly Man United, were close to agreeing a new one-year extension for Ashley Young, but that has been officially confirmed as well. In relation to Ander Herrera and Juan Mata, they are players, that coming to the end of the deals, and they're set to come. Their current deals come to an end in the summer as well. In relation to Ander Herrera, I really, really am hopeful, that he does sign a new deal with Manchester United. I think Man United have been in negotiations. I think Manchester United, of course, are only willing to offer him a new one-year extension. I think, Ander Herrera, but I think he's been a very, very consistent player, since we got him in 2014, from Atletico Bilbao, was it? I think he's been really, really good as Ander Herrera, and I think, especially since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's coming, I think he's playing a big part in the team as Ander Herrera. He complements our midfield very, very well. I think he's really, really good at breaking up the play. His passing's really, really improved, and obviously he's been more of a regular, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's coming. I do think he looks good alongside Nemanja Matic and Paul Pogba, and I think that midfield looks very, very effective indeed, and I've been impressed with Matic. I think Nemanja Matic has dramatically improved as I currently said. I know he's slow and I do have strong reservations about him, but as I do keep saying, he's galloping forward more. His passing's improved. His distribution's improved as well as Nemanja Matic as well. And hope for somewhere along the line, in relation, to Paul Pogba, because I think Paul Pogba's, been absolutely fantastic as well. Very, very good player. And I think, his breaks, box to box, have been very, very good. He's been scoring goals. He's been providing. And I think, he does look very, very good in that number 10 position, does Paul Pogba, just behind the centre forward. I think he scored 13 goals in all competitions this season Paul Pogba. But as I did currently say, we're starting to see the best of him under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But obviously Solskjaer has obviously rejuvenated basically the whole team, and got the spirit levels in the team, the confidence is in the team's motivated, as I said. But Pogba, you can see he's getting the freedom to express himself, and especially the front men, getting the freedom, to interchange, closer together, create more chances, scoring goals. As I said, which is good to see. But in relation to Pogba, hopefully somewhere along the line we can agree a new long-term deal at Manchester United as well. I think Raiola, his current agent, is set to actually have negotiations, with the Manchester United board about potentially, getting Paul Pogba a new deal. He's currently got 2 years left on his current one as Paul Pogba, as I said. Obviously, we paid £89 million. Obviously, he's currently our most expensive sign, as I said. But I'd love him, to commit to a new long-term future. I'd love him to commit his long-term future at Manchester United. And I think he did demand that he wanted a new contract. Paul Pogba, was it last year? Was it back in the January transfer window? I'll give you an update on that. I think he's on about £290,000 a week. Is Paul Pogba, if I'm quite sure as well. In relation as well to Juan Mata, obviously we've been hearing a narrative about this in the last couple of weeks that reportedly Manchester United have been in negotiations of getting Juan Mata a new 1-year extension at the club as well. Again, as I said, we're not obviously going to be willing to offer him a long-term contract, because obviously he's age 30 now. I think Juan Mata is actually nearly 31 years of age now, but obviously we know he hasn't been regular. He hasn't been number one choice under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We know mainly Jesse Lingard has been on that right hand side, fulfilling that right hand side spot ahead of Juan Mata, as I said. But somewhere along the line, I hope Manchester United can get Juan Mata a new 1-year extension, as I said, because I do really, really like Juan Mata. I think he's been a very, very consistent player since we got him from Chelsea, in 2014. Of course, Manchester United just paid him under £40 million, but since he's been here, he's made over 200 odd appearances, as Juan Mata. He's also, he's obviously won here. What has he won? The EFL Cup, the Europa League, the EFL Cup, the Europa League, and what's the other trophy he's won? He's won the EFL Cup, the Europa League, the FA Cup as well. So I think they're the 3 trophies, Juan Mata's won, since he's been here. But he's well Premier League proven, as I said, he's Juan Mata. And of course, he's won everything in English football apart from the Premier League. And that's the only thing, Juan Mata hasn't won. He hasn't won the Premier League, as I said. I think Juan Mata's actually, actually keen on a 2-year deal. But I think Manchester United are only willing, to offer him a 1-year extension. His current agent, which is his father as well, reportedly has been negotiation with Manchester United, to get him a new deal at the club. Juan Mata as well. To get Juan Mata a new 1-year deal as well. But, he's been in the Premier League a lot of years. He's been here 4.5 years, as I said. He's been in the Premier League a good, 7-8 years now as Juan Mata, as I said. And, this was obviously including his 3 years he had with Chelsea. But obviously, he had a lot of experience of playing in Spain, did Juan Mata, when he was a lot younger in his prime, because he spent a lot of years of playing in Spain, when he was a lot younger in his prime. And there were speculation throughout the January window that Barcelona were interested in him. It did say that Arsenal were also interested in him as well, because he actually used to play under Real did Juan Mata, when he was young in his prime. He spent 4 years, he played for Valencia for 4 years, and obviously he was under the management of Emery at that point. But reportedly Manchester United have been in talks of getting him a new 1-year extension. No update has come as yet, as I currently said, but we've been in talks, getting him a new 1-year extension as well. In relation to Marcus Rashford as well, he's another one. Manchester United, as I said earlier on, Man United obviously want to get him to a new long-term deal at the club. His current deal does end in 2020. With an option of every year, Marcus Rashford, as I said, and based on his fantastic performances, since he's been United player, since the age of 7, he's progressed up the ranks very, very well. He's risen up the ranks, Marcus Rashford, and he's been United player since the age of 7. As I said, and he's been in the senior squad since 2016. Marcus Rashford, as I currently said. he's been in the senior squad since 2016, but especially, you know, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's come in, you know, his form's been definitely rejuvenated, and I do think he looks very, very effective, you know, Marcus Rashford, you know, when he's playing centrally, as I said. You know, Rashford's been an absolutely fantastic player, and I think everything's improved about his game, you know, since Solskjaer's come in. I've always thought he's a good player, but, you know, since Solskjaer's come in, he's been brilliant, you know, he's scoring more goals, his finishing's improved, so I do think he has got that end product now as Marcus Rashford. I know for somewhere along the line we can agree on a new long-term deal. I think we are preparing to more than currently double his wages as well, Marcus Rashford, if we can, you know, get him this new long-term deal at Manchester United. But reports coming out, was it last week, that Man United were in negotiations and Man United, you know, were close to agreeing him a new long-term deal at the club. But since Solskjaer's come in, obviously, you know, Marcus Rashford has played a key role. But we know that he's mainly, since Solskjaer's come in, you know, Rashford's been playing regularly, and obviously Rashford's been first choice over Lukaku. Martial's obviously been first choice over Alexis Sanchez, because as I did say, we have got some fringe players in our squad, as I do keep saying. You know, Lukaku's a fringe player, Sanchez is a fringe player, you know, McTominay's a fringe player, I think Phil Jones is a fringe player, so we have got quite a few, you know, fringe players in our team, and as I do keep updating you, I do think, you know, players will leave Manchester United in the summer. But as I did say in relation to Lukaku, you know, I think his form has been slightly rejuvenated, you know, since Solskjaer's coming. You know, Romelu Lukaku's, his form has been slightly rejuvenated, but a lot of Manchester United fans now feel as though, you know, Romelu Lukaku's finished at the club, you know, from, you know, their own opinions. I know he's slow, I do have strong reservations about him, I do have concerns about his first touch, you know, Romelu Lukaku, but throughout his playing career in the Premier League, you know, he's still a proven goal scorer, is Romelu Lukaku, and he has, you know, scored a lot of goals. I think when he was at Everton, you know, he scored 68 goals, did Romelu Lukaku, as I said. But when you've got the likes of Martial, who's got pace, you've got the likes of Lingard, who's got pace, who can press out the pitch, as I do keep saying, you know, Rashford, who's got pace, who can press out the pitch, you know, Lukaku cannot do this. So for me, Lukaku is basically too slow, and what Rashford can offer up front, you know, Lukaku, you know, basically he's not capable of doing this, as I said. And in relation, you know, Martial, as I said, has been very, very influential on that left-hand side, and I think Martial will keep improving, to be quite honest with you. And obviously, mainly he's been first choice over Sanchez. And in relation to Sanchez, let's be honest, he's enjoyed a very, very difficult time, you know, since he's come to Manchester United. You know, Alexis Sanchez, you know, obviously he's found game time difficult anywhere since Solskjaer's come in, but, you know, when he has had the opportunity, Sanchez has failed to impress, as I said. But he has enjoyed a couple of injuries, as I've said, you know, before. He's enjoyed a couple, I think he's had a couple of hamstring injuries, but there's definitely areas of his game he does need to adapt to Alexis Sanchez. I think he's lost the yard of pace as well as Sanchez as well, but he's aging up now. Is he, 29, 30 years of age now? Alexis Sanchez, obviously our highest paid player, so we do want to see the best out of him, considering, you know, that his weekly wages he's currently getting at Manchester United, but he has failed to impress. And, you know, somewhere along the line, you know, if he does keep getting, you know, them chances under Solskjaer, you know, will he improve on his game, you know, Alexis Sanchez, because he's not the player, you know, that he currently was at Arsenal, as I currently said. So if he doesn't improve, then maybe, you know, Sanchez, you know, could be out of the door, as I currently said, but he hasn't, you know, been impressive, you know, since he's come to Manchester United, and obviously he's been here for just over a year now, is it? As I said. In relation as well, you know, you know, obviously we know that the club are obviously still looking, you know, to hire a director of football to come in. Reportedly, Manchester United are going to get around £200 million to spend in the summer, and obviously we do expect players to leave as well. We do expect players to leave as well. I do think, you know, some probably some experienced players will be leaving. So obviously we'll look to get some new additions in the summer, as I said. So we'll look to get a couple of signings in the summer, because you can see the vast improvements in Solskjaer's coming. But as I do keep saying, we need a strong central defender. We need someone on that right hand side, because as I do keep saying, you know, the majority of our attack is coming from the left hand side. Of course, we didn't spend out in the January window, so we didn't, you know, get any signings in the January transfer window, which was a bit disappointing, you know, to be quite honest with you. But obviously the Man United board are planning, what players, you know, would be right to come in for the summer, and reportedly we're going to get £200 million to spend in the summer, as that has confirmed. But in relation to Matteo Darmian as well, he's another player that's enjoyed a very, very difficult time, you know, since he's come to Manchester United. You know, Matteo Darmian, you know, obviously he's hardly played. He's struggled to get a run of games under his belt. Matteo Darmian obviously just recently suffered another injury, so Matteo Darmian is obviously out for a couple of weeks, you know, alongside Antonio Valencia. And in relation to Matteo Darmian, he did say throughout the January window that Juventus and Inter Milan were obviously interested, because he had obviously had a lot of experience of playing in Italy. Did Matteo Darmian, as we all currently know, you know, when he's a lot younger in his prime, spent the majority of his spent the majority of his playing career, in Italy as well. Did Matteo Darmian, but I think we have activated his contract, by a further year, so we can cash in for the player in the summer if any offers do come. So he's a player, that could actually, leave Manchester United in the summer as well. In relation, to Marcos Rojo, as I said, it has confirmed that Rojo has currently returned back to training, as it's currently said, because he's been injured for a long time. He has been out as Marcos Rojo. I think he's good in our defensive line, as a backup option. But again, since he's come to Manchester United, he struggled to get a run of games under his belt. He struggled with his fitness regime as Marcos Rojo, and he has, suffered quite a few injuries as Marcos Rojo. But it has confirmed he's still not fully fit, but he has returned. It did confirm that he had returned back to training, Marcos Rojo as well. But maybe could he go in the summer as well, to make room in that central defensive area, as I said. But good news has been coming out in the media today. Very, very good news has been coming out in the media today in relation to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as I said. As I updated you on my first video I did this morning, that reportedly it did say Solskjaer will get the job on a full-time basis as Manchester United manager. Obviously, Manchester United have obviously paid a fee at the moment, to lend him on a temporary basis. So Manchester United have obviously paid about £1.8 million for that. But if Man United are to appoint him permanently, it will cost Man United an additional around £7.5 million, something like that. But according to what's been said in the Sun today and quite a few other media outlets, that reportedly says Solskjaer will get the job on a full-time basis. And it did say the board, it has been revealed that the current board have made a decision on it, and it's looking likely now that Solskjaer is the #1 choice and that he is going to get the job on a full-time basis at Manchester United, because he deserves it. Ed Wood has praised him, for the fantastic work he's done so far. And obviously the board, the Manchester United board, and that are obviously adamant, that Solskjaer, can elevate us forward. He can push this team forward. This is what they think. And obviously, based on his fantastic progression he has done so far, since he's come into the club. He's got Manchester United into the 5th round of the FA Cup so far. As I said, we're 11 games unbeaten. We've won 10 out of 11. We've won 5. We've won 6 away from home in all competitions as well. We've scored 28 goals as well in the current process. Also, too, we've in the Premier League we've got 25 points, from a possible 27. And obviously, Solskjaer has obviously now got Manchester United into the top 4, as we all know, for the first time since the opening day of the season. Because when Solskjaer came in, obviously Manchester United, of course, were 11 points behind top 4, as I currently said. But yeah, it's looking very, very good indeed. 10 wins out of 11, as I said. Defensively we've improved as well, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's come in. But reports have been coming out saying that Solskjaer will get the job on a full-time basis, because it's been revealed that the Manchester United board have made a decision over it. We know for a very, very long time that, Pochettino has been Ed Woodward's #1 choice, to appoint, as full-time manager at the end of the season. But no, I don't want Pochettino, as I said, because Solskjaer's more proven than Pochettino, because Solskjaer's won trophies. Mauricio Pochettino hasn't won out in terms of silverware as a manager, but I do think he's a very, very good manager, Mauricio Pochettino, and I do think he's done a very, very good job with Tottenham. He's got a good record with Tottenham. He's been managing since 2009. He had a good record, when he was at Southampton as well, Pochettino. He has been managing the Premier League for 10 years. He's been at Tottenham 5 years. Tottenham have only spent a net spend, of only £50 million, since 2014. And obviously, it'd be a stupid thing to do anywhere to recommend Pochettino to come in on a full-time basis, because obviously it would cost Man United around at least £40 million to recommend him in, when we can, get Solskjaer to get the job on a full-time basis, and that'd only cost us around £7.5 million or something like that. So it is a lot cheaper. And obviously Solskjaer's brought something magical to the club. So obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is a cheaper alternative. As I currently said. But I think there's been a few other teams, that have been interested in hiring Pochettino. Of course, he signed a 5-year deal with Tottenham last summer as well. I think Tottenham are still awaiting on their new stadium. Isn't Tottenham's stadium due sometime this year? As I currently said, but they are doing very, very well. And Pochettino has done a very, very good job, you know, considering they've got Harry Kane out, you know, they've got Dele Alli out, you know, through injury as well, you know, they're still in there with a shout, you know, for the title. Tottenham Hotspur, they're definitely going to finish in the top four at Tottenham, but they are still in there with a shout, as I said. But we know Pochettino's been the number one, but now, you know, Solskjaer's elevating his team forward, as I could have said, and I think he can get us in that commanding position where he wants to be. You know, he deserves, you know, the job, you know, of the work he's done so far at Manchester United, because he's rejuvenated the team, he's got the confidence back in the team, he's got us playing that free-flowing football, which is good. He has that attacking philosophy, he likes the width as well, and you can see that we've got defenders that, you know, like that want to play out from the back, which is good to see. We've got good ball-playing midfielders now. We've got the likes of Rashford and Martial and Lingard that show they've got that ability to attack, you know, play balls, create, score goals, you know, which is very, very good to see. But you can see the structure of the team's right, the cohesion of the team's right. Solskjaer's brought the fluid back to the team, and he has motivated this team, and he's got them playing in the right vein. You know, he's got the right mentality into the team as well as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because obviously when Solskjaer came in, he did basically say that he wants to get this team to express themselves. He wants to get this team enjoying playing football again, and this is what Solskjaer's done. And you know, the team are now playing as a unit. You know, they're working together as a team, which is very, very good to see. As I said, and you know, Pogba's pulling the strings off well in the midfield. As I said, you know, Rashford scoring goals, Pogba's scoring and providing. You know, which is very, very good to see indeed. And thanks to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because he shows that inspiration on the touchline. And as I do keep saying, if he sees a problem, you know, he addresses that problem. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but he's the right man for the job without a shadow of a doubt, because he knows everything about Manchester United. You know, after being a great legend, you know, for 11 years under Fergie, you know, after what, you know, when he was and won trophies, as I said. You know, when he was managing the reserve team as well at Manchester United, he won trophies, so he's proven there. And obviously, you know, he's got a pretty decent pedigree in terms of, you know, being a United player and managing the reserve team. You know, he has got a fantastic pedigree, Solskjaer. But he watched some of these guys, you know, grow and develop, you know, when he was managing the reserve team as well. So for me, he is the right man for Manchester United, as I currently said. And if we are to play mould around 7.5, 8 million, you know, to get him in on a full-time basis, then Manchester United will pay that. But it hasn't been officially announced yet. I think it probably will be announced at the end of the season, as I said. But obviously, Manchester United's objective this season is to obviously, of course, get in that top four. Because obviously now we are sitting fourth, as I said. And obviously, hopefully, somewhere along the line, you know, we can progress in the FA Cup as well, you know, which would be a fantastic achievement as well if we, you know, if we could succeed in the FA Cup, you know, and win the FA Cup, you know how much of a remarkable achievement that would be. As I currently said. So I am hopeful we can get in the top four this season. As Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was explaining in the media, he did say it maybe could take Manchester United a couple of years, you know, to be potentially title contenders, and it could take us a couple of years, you know, to catch up with the likes of Manchester City, as well as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was explaining. But I think this Manchester United squad now has got everything, you know, to re-emerge as a dominant force and, you know, and get us back, you know, winning trophies on a regular basis like we did do under Alex Ferguson for 27 years, as I said. Let's also have a look at some. As I said, you know what I mean, guys. So yeah. You can see the confidence is back in the team, and the motivation is in the team as well. But we know there's a few targets, you know, we've been linked to, you know, to go and get in the summer, as I've already explained to you. We know that in the relation to Douglas Costa from Juventus, we know that he's currently being mentioned as well as Douglas Costa. He obviously, the narrative about this, you know, we heard about it last year, that reportedly Manchester United were interested in Douglas Costa. It did say allegedly Man United had a £54 million bid turned down for him. It also said that Chelsea have also been interested in Douglas Costa as well. And I'm a big fan, you know, of Douglas Costa. You know, to be quite honest with you, I'm a big fan of Douglas Costa. You know, I think he's a really good player. His dribbling's good. He can put crosses into the box. He can score. He can provide. And his main position is a winger. But he's 28 years of age. He's highly experienced, and since, you know, he's at Juventus now, and you know he's enjoyed a difficult season so far this season as Douglas Costa, because obviously since Ronaldo's arrival there last summer, Douglas Costa has found game time hard. But reports have been coming out about this, reportedly saying that Douglas Costa has liked to tweet, you know, linking him with a move to Old Trafford. Reportedly, he's liked to tweet, you know, linking him with a move to Old Trafford, you know, Douglas Costa. So Juventus may be willing, you know, to take offers in the summer. But reports are emerging saying that Man United, you know, could consider, you know, making a move for Douglas Costa in the summer, you know, to bring him to Old Trafford. As I said, he's done good throughout his playing career, though. As I currently said, you know, he had 5 good years at Shakhtar Donetsk. He had, you know, a good couple of years with Bayern Munich as well. You know, he had, you know, in his first season with Juventus, you know, he was very, very good as well. You know, Douglas Costa, and obviously he's won trophies as well. Obviously, Juventus, you know, did make the deal permanent last summer. Juventus had him on loan, I think, for one season, and obviously last summer, you know, Juventus made the deal permanent by paying around 36 million pounds in, but we have been hearing about that, you know, in the last couple of days, you know, in relation to Douglas Costa as well. We know that also too, Man United may be planning, you know, to bring Felix, you know, to Old Trafford in the summer as well, because we know there has been talks of Felix coming Felix, you know, coming to Manchester United as well. Again, 19 years of age, very, very young, his prime, only broke into the Benfica first team, you know, last year, did the player as well. Only broke in the Benfica first team, you know, last year as well, did Felix. But reportedly, it did say throughout the course of the January transfer window, you know, that a few teams had expressed their interest in Felix. I think he's got a buyout clause of around £105 million as Felix, as that's currently confirmed. 105 million buyout clause. Man United actually instructed scouts, you know, to keep a close eye out on Felix, as I said. But it allegedly did say that Liverpool had a £61 million bid turned down for him in January. He's yet to make his Portugal senior debut. As I said, I think he's versatile. He can play in quite a few positions, but I think his main position is on that wing position, which he has been operating, you know, at Benfica, as I said. But his name's been mentioned in the media, you know, quite a few times. And as I have been updating you, you know, in the last couple of days of what's been mentioned as well, that reportedly Ryan Sessegnon, his name has been mentioned in the media as well. Ryan Sessegnon, again, very, very good player, 18 years of age, as we all know. But I think Manchester United were actually linked with Ryan Sessegnon, was it a year or two ago? Manchester United were interested in him. I do think it said the most recent team who were interested in Ryan Sessegnon was Tottenham Hotspur, reportedly. But reports have been coming out in the last couple of days, you know, in relation to Ryan Sessegnon. Reportedly, Man United do want to recommend him to come in the summer to Old Trafford, because obviously Fulham are in a bad situation at the moment. You know, they're sitting in the relegation zone, only coming from the Championship last season. They've obviously got one of the worst defensive records in the Premier League of Fulham, as I said. But Ryan Sessegnon, as I said, 18 years of age, he's versatile. You know, he can play anywhere on the left, so he can play as a left back, he can play as a left winger. But on the left hand side, we're okay anywhere, because that's where all our attacks mainly coming from that left hand side. But reportedly, it did say Man United could, you know, prepare to put a £50 million bid in, you know, to get Ryan Sessegnon in the summer. And I think Ryan Sessegnon's progression is very, very good. This season, he has found it difficult since the appointment of Claudio Ranieri. You know, he's found game time very, very difficult as Ryan Sessegnon. He is actually, Fulham have actually been in contract talks, you know, to try and get him a new long-term deal at Fulham, reportedly. But reportedly, the contract talks have currently stalled at this moment in time, because actually Ryan Sessegnon's only got currently 18 months left on his current deal with Fulham. Obviously, he's been Fulham, you know, obviously all his career. You know, he's progressed up the ranks very, very well. He was obviously he graduated in their youth system. He graduated in their youth system for 8 years, did Ryan Sessegnon, being in the senior squad since 2016. His performances last season in the Championship were very, very good. And he was one of the key players, you know, that got Fulham promotion to the Premier League, you know, last season, as I said. But obviously this season he has failed, you know, to be consistent. Ranieri's coming. He has found game time very, very hard, Ryan Sessegnon. I think he won the Championship Player of the Year as well last season, did Ryan Sessegnon. But reports have been coming out saying, you know, that reportedly Manchester United could make a move for Ryan Sessegnon in the summer. But I think Tottenham would interest him. I think a few other teams, you know, have been interested in Ryan Sessegnon as well. But he's a very, very good young player. He may be a player that wants to elevate to that high level, wants obviously, you know, to play for a bigger club as well, Ryan Sessegnon. But his name, of course, has been mentioned in the media as well. His name has obviously been mentioned in the media as well. And obviously in our central defensive position, as I do keep saying, you know, that's one of the key areas where we do need to strengthen up, because I think Lindelof's dramatically improved this season. Lindelof's playing really, really well. His passing's improved. He's galloping forward more. He's showing that determination, you know, which is very, very good. Lindelof, and I think him and Bailly, you know, complement each other very, very well. I do think they are a fantastic duo, you know, Bailly and Lindelof in our central defensive area. And obviously they're on another level, you know, to Chris Smalling and Phil Phil Jones, are Eric Bailly and Lindelof, as I said. But we need a strong central defender to come in, alongside Eric Bailly and Victor Lindelof, as I said. And I've already explained to you that obviously his number one target is Koulibaly, for the summer. We've been linked, with a host of other defenders as well, as I've already explained to you, as I said. But as I did say for tomorrow night's game, we obviously know that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is obviously going to rotate the squad, as I said, because obviously against Fulham at the weekend, he currently made 6 changes, as we all currently know. And obviously, it was a comfortable victory at Craven Cottage. Man United, won by 3 goals to nearly, made 6 changes. As he did talk about when he first came in the club, Solskjaer was going to be rotating the squad. Obviously, giving everybody the chance, as he did confirm. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But as I did currently say, he made there were alterations, at the back as well. We saw Smalling make his first start under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We know that Jones came in as well as a centre-back partnership with Smalling. Diego Dalot come in. Mata came in. Lukaku started. So he did make, 6 changes in that Fulham game, as I said. So it wasn't obviously strongest 11. Obviously, he rested key players, for tomorrow night's game. And obviously, Rashford will likely, be in contention, to start against Paris Saint-Germain tomorrow, as I said. And we do know how much of a difficult game it's going to be against PSG, as I currently have said. I think we are capable of beating them, considering the form. We're in a good run of form, under Solskjaer. But we have got some good news, as I do keep saying, going into this PSG game, because PSG, have obviously, got injury concerns, as I said. PSG have got, Edinson Cavani injured. Thomas Tuchel did say the PSG boss, he was worried that he could miss out. It's obviously looking likely he's going to be missing out for PSG, because I think he suffered some kind of thigh injury, as Edinson Cavani. He suffered this during, PSG's 1-0 win against Bordeaux. I think it's a thigh injury. So he is a major doubt, as he did confirm. Also, too, Thomas Meunier is obviously a major doubt for Paris Saint-Germain as well, after he suffered an head injury. So he collided heads Meunier as well, so it's likely he's going to be out. Obviously, Neymar's out with a long-term absence as well. Obviously, the most expensive player in world football, because PSG, spent around £200 million on him. So Neymar's obviously out, I think, with a foot injury, is it, something like that. Verratti could be in contention, to play for PSG, because Verratti has just really, recently had an ankle injury as well. So he's just recently recovered from injury as Marco Verratti as well. And I do actually like, Marco Verratti, I do think Marco Verratti is a very, very good player. I do actually highly rate him. But PSG have got some injury concerns going into this. Obviously, PSG is sitting top of Liga 1. They've won 19 games out of 22. They've drawn 2, lost 1. They've scored 68 goals in Liga 1 so far this season. They've only conceded 13. So defensively, PSG are very, very good as well. And obviously, they are the dominant force in France. Paris Saint-Germain, as we all currently know. But as I did say, I did my preview earlier on, for the Man United PSG game. It's going to be a big game for Man United. We got knocked out by Sevilla last season. Was that in the last 16, if I can remember rightly? We didn't do so well in the group stages, even though we did agree. We finished second below Juventus. We scored 7 goals in the process. 6 of them came away from home, because we only scored 1 goal at home, in 3 home games in the group stages as well. But obviously, that's when we had Jose Mourinho now. So it's going to be obviously now a much different kettle of fish. Now we've got the right man in, which is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as I currently said. But PSG finished top of their group, didn't they? In their group stage, they finished top of their group. They scored 17 goals. Did Paris Saint-Germain in their group as well. But yeah, it'd be interesting game. Be interesting to see how Mbappe, performs. I think Mbappe and Rashford, are both great players. Mbappe's got good pace, can score goals and provide, can press out the pitch, and so too can Marcus Rashford as well. I think Rashford is somewhere along the lines on the same level as Mbappe, but they are both good young players, that can score. They've got good pace. They've got a lot of tenacity about the play as well of both players. So it'd be interesting to see, how they currently perform. And I do think they are comparable, both players. I think they're round about on the same level. I don't think Mbappe is better than Rashford. I don't think Rashford's better than Mbappe. I do think they're on the probably, about the same level. Maybe some people think, Rashford's, probably as good as Mbappe or even better than Mbappe. Everyone obviously, has a very different opinion, as I currently said. But obviously, he'll probably go with his strongest team with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer against Paris Saint-Germain. We have got big games coming up. Liverpool's coming up soon. Chelsea in the Cup's coming up soon as well. So we have got big games. So we've got obviously, got to be prepared, for them games, as I said. But I think we are ready, for tomorrow night against Paris Saint-Germain. As I currently said, we played Saturday against Fulham. They played, Saturday against Bordeaux as well. So yeah, they did play on the same day. They did currently play on the same day, as I said. But I think we can get into the top four this season. As I do keep saying, we will finish in the top four this season. I think we'll finish in the top four, anywhere without a shadow of a doubt. But as I did say at the beginning of this video, the main part of this video is to give you an update in relation to Ashley Young. He has signed a new 1-year extension with Manchester United. So we are hopeful now of getting Herrera a new deal. De Gea, we're hopeful of getting De Gea a new long-term deal as well, who I forgot to mention earlier on as well. I've already give you an update on that. Nothing much more is updated in relation to David De Gea. He's demanding that he wants a staggering amount of, I think the wages he currently wants to have De Gea, I think he wants around £350,000 a week, something like that, as that is currently confirmed, for obviously, De Gea to sign a new long-term deal at Manchester United, as I currently said. But yeah, as I did say, City did us a great favour yesterday by beating Chelsea by 6-0. So that does keep, Manchester United now in the top four, as I currently said. So anyway, drop your comments, likes below on the channel.